you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up Podcast, episode 1, 2, and 3 to the Mo to the E to the. It's your boy K Dizzle DC. And to this side, I got it right. My man have streams. Tell me up, baby.
Exactly. Who let Mama Hef in the building already, man? How did she get my code?
She must have your code. She was behind the scenes while we was game planning. It was like, hey y'all.
Man,
Hey,
shout out to Mama Hef. We love you.
Mama Hef is good. We appreciate you being a star supporter of the 80 All Dressed Up Podcast. Again, it's episode 123. You don't know it's K Dizzle DC and have streams. We talk about any and everything. We love y'all. Coloreds. Happy Sunday, Coloreds. Boy, oh boy.
Happy Sunday.
It's in the building already. Early.
What's good, Arizona, man? What it do, Arizona?
I'm just trying to stay black, wild, and free, even though we ain't. Serious moment. In all seriousness, man. I hope y'all had a great week. Hell, I had some good fun. Where you want to start tonight, man? Because there's a lot. You saw the name of the show tonight. It's a cold world at a Coldplay concert. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's because I'm running on fumes, but I'm being petty as hell tonight, man. I got a lot of topics that I feel like I'm being petty about. But the first one I'm gonna roll out. Welcome back, though, man.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, look, I got my sound effects back too since you've been petty.
Oh yeah. Bring the sound effects out. Bring
them out.
So I'm gonna have a theme of some rants that I'm going on tonight.
Oh, early.
And it's called I'm quitting the internet. I'm quitting the internet, but somehow I can't. But I want to quit it so bad, because there's so much shit out right now. And it's like, why is this in my algorithm? What have I been clicking on, K Dizzle? What am I doing? First topic, my man Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion. Trying to stay alive in this now. We are trying to fight, man. Everything's so goddamn high. Everything's so high, man. The rent, the water high. Shit. Look, Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion, if you ain't been watching Instagram, they all over the place kissing each other in the mouth. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I ain't mad at them. Klay Thompson, they said, is back. Third quarter, Klay is back. That was when Klay was hitting. Third quarter, Klay. And Meg Thee Stallion out there, man, she got them all around, parading them in the videos and shit. So shout out to them, man. I'm really appreciative and happy for them. And that was just one of my I'm quitting the internet moments.
Hey, look, light-skinned brothers are making dubs, are getting dubs out here, okay? Light-skinned brothers are getting dubs out here. He with Megan Stallion, so he everywhere. You just got to deal with it, no matter what. So
it's Klay top 75 now that he got Megan Stallion.
Shout out to Megan Stallion and Klay Thompson showing their love and admiration for each other. We always love young. Is it young love? How old is Klay now? 20?
He probably about 33, 34.
33? Okay. And Megan Stallion is?
Probably about 27.
27. Okay. I mean, let love win. Let love rule. That's how that song goes.
So look, next jump. All the fighting was going on this weekend. If you a fight fan, big UFC fights, lot of knockouts, man. That shit was brutal. And then if you didn't know, Manny Pacquiao fought at 46 years old. He had a championship fight last night. If you didn't know, the shit ended in a draw, a majority draw. What's good, Savage? My man Savage coming through. If y'all ever get a chance, check him out on Twitch. He definitely be over there gaming. But Manny Pacquiao 46 had a draw. Did you see the fight?
No, and why? Why was he in the ring? That's a country senator. back home in the Philippines. Don't he?
He fought Barrios. It was a championship fight. He didn't do enough to win the fight, but he definitely didn't lose it. And it was one of those situations the way I guess they figured it's Manny Pacquiao. He'll take the draw and smile, wave like he always does. And Slim got ahead without losing the championship belt. But at 46, though, man.
No, there has been a run on boxers, professional boxers, which is why the ticker is what it is. Them not knowing when to say when, them not knowing when to quit, or is it just I'm coming back to get more money? Now, Mike Tyson, okay.
Nah, but he hit Manny last night with a six-piece straight jump. And I said, "Oh, like he's not playing with him." And then after a while, I was seeing he was kind of carrying him, like he ain't gonna dog Manny like that. But shout out to Manny Pacquiao's old ass. Him
Man,
and Freddie
it's hot,
Roach did
bro.
it
You gotta
again.
do it for your grandkids, man. You can't be in there. You can't be in the ring at 46 years old. That's just too much. Like I said, you got Mike Tyson, you got Roy Jones, who almost lost an eyeball. I mean, you got everybody trying to get back in the ring for what? If you need money, man, you just got. I mean, take a loan. Just don't, payday.
They're doing it for the love of the game. Okay,
Nah,
they're doing it for the love of the game.
you just
They ain't doing it for the paycheck.
Michael Jordan never got back on the court after the Wizards. You hear me? Never got back.
I'm glad he didn't.
I'm glad he didn't too. He figured out, yeah, it's my time. It's my time. But don't do that, man. Man, I have no idea. The only fight I'm looking to see is Canelo and Crawford. That's coming. I think it's in September.
Yeah. Fight of the year. Fight of the year.
Fight of the year, Canelo and Crawford.
Pre-fight fight of the year. Like everybody expecting to be one of the greatest fights of all time. If you get what you expect to get, I'm thinking it's going to be a 12 round, real high action fight. I think it's going to go to a decision. I could see it probably leaning towards Canelo's way. I don't know if Canelo is going to get hurt by Bud to lose in that fight.
We gotta see. We gotta see the style. Styles make fights. Styles
They
definitely
do.
make
They
fights.
do.
So we gotta see who's gonna come out on that. But
They definitely do.
Danny P, what the hell, bro?
Put the number up, K Dizzle, for everybody if they're just strolling on in to the All Dressed Up podcast. Now, you can always text 301-857-1757 and come on through and interact. If you agree, disagree, or just want to talk some shit, don't be afraid to come through and talk it up. But you put a topic in talking about NFL training camp as a pay period away.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL's top 100 players list has begun. Predictions on their favorite players. Whose favorite players you talking about? The NFL's? Who they gonna be promoting in their top 100?
Hold on, I gotta show you a picture before I do that.
Okay.
They just had a ceremony and they just showed everybody what it is. I just need y'all to look at that for a minute.
See, I got set up on some bullshit.
Look at this bling blow for a minute, man. Just get it in there. When have you ever seen? Look at that. You can't be great without the greatness of
Those are the wings that I was getting DM'd
Wings.
about that popped out y'all Super Bowl. That's some corny ass shit.
the wings on the ring, my guy. What up, P?
What's up, Big P? Shout out to Big P. So
You
what happens if one of the wings fall off? That's got to be about 10 bands.
look, I don't know, but according to this website, you can now own one for $33.97. But no, that's a super dope wing.
That's the authentic. That's the authentic jump too.
Got rings on it. It's an authentic one. That's what do they call that? Tanzanite? I don't know what they call it.
Two payments of $14.95
Two
plus
payments.
shipping and handling.
Or
You
you
too.
use a firm and pay $3 a month for 12 months.
You too could be a Super Bowl champ.
But so here's what I was thinking, right? You got the training camp is a couple weeks away. Then we get to really, really arguing about stuff, and then we can get on with the crew.
Truthfully, K Dizzle, I usually never give a fuck because my team's been sorry for so long. Like when training camp comes around, I'd be like, oh shit, it'd be week 6 by the time I know the NFL season started. The Commanders would be 1-5, and I'd be like, oh shit, it's NFL time again. But now it's different. I got some shit.
It's
I told Sinead today, I was like, yeah, babe, I'm actually excited for
Yeah,
the NFL this year.
yeah.
We'll
So,
see.
the reason why, the NFL's top 100 players is out. And I'm just trying to figure out how much more disrespect Jalen Hurts is going to get on this list. I don't think he's going to get disrespect on this list,
Y'all be taking that Jalen Hurts shit personal.
Oh hell yeah! So your boy just made what up P? What up P? Your boy Bobby Wagner just made number 74.
Good for him. He should.
He just made number 74.
High level defensive football from a 37-year-old.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Hell of a season.
I mean, one thing about Bobby Wagner is he be available. You know, they say the best ability is availability. You know,
He'd be available. You sure?
Bobby
Yeah,
Wagner, man.
he's been.
Bobby Wagner is an OG in the game. He's a great locker room presence, so they say, and he makes big plays on the field. He's not gonna run anybody down, but he's definitely gonna be smart. He can call a defense,
Yeah,
and you can see the difference, man. Like if the Commanders' defense is really good this year, it's gonna be a good year.
it's gonna be because of him. I give you that. I give you that. But how? I mean, how much longer you think he got in the tank?
Probably one more year.
One more year? Okay.
Yeah, I think he saw enough. He saw enough to see to like, all right, I'll give it a real run this year. I don't think he expected to win it last year with a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
But one more year. His health finished out pretty good, so it was like, fuck it, why not go back? I don't blame him.
I agree.
Commanders looking strong, man. That NFC East is definitely looking like the Cowboys are gonna be bringing up the end. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Giants, man.
Hey.
The Giants might win about 8 games this year, and
Yeah,
the Cowboys might get about eight,
we're gonna
eight,
stamp this.
nine
We're gonna
games.
stamp this at top because all these Cowboy fans, we got on our page, we gonna start tripping. But look,
But y'all know I don't really give a shit. Like y'all know y'all gonna say everything that y'all gonna say, and then come November it gets quiet, and then December is crickets out there for Dallas. So we'll see.
all right, man. All right, you on one today. You
Yeah, I
on
said I was running on fumes. I said you got to bring the energy for real.
you did. Oh, why did my camera bear itself?
So
That's
let's do this. So you put a topic in the showrunner. You go ahead and bring that one up, man. The
which one?
foolishness, because I'm talking about quitting the internet, and you talking about the
You're not-
CEO of
all right,
that tech company.
let me pull this up, bro. Let me pull this up. If you
Mhm.
are, this is what you say. If you have been under a rock recently, okay, and not been paying attention online, you've seen this video make its way around the internet.
Hey, Ma, look at them
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what?
Oh, look at these people.
I would turn the audio on. You had money on Pacquiao?
Why,
P.
P?
P. You had money on Pac. Why did you even bet on that, P?
All he had to do was go the distance and win.
You should be ashamed of yourself for betting on that, P.
Come on, P.
I don't even know why you even started on that.
But there's so many questions I got from this video right here, right?
Don't get that Eagles fan started, Hef. You heard the man.
I'm
You heard
not daring it. I'm not
and
tonight. I'm not. He already put that bullshit Super Bowl ring in the front of the show tonight. I don't know where that even came
Look,
from. So
here, shout out to the CEO of that company. Going to a Coldplay concert with your sneaky link, which happens to be one of your employees. Okay. Rob was in the
good,
bill.
big dog. What's good?
It was a draw. It was trash. You should have never put your money on a 46-year-old man in the ring. Stop it.
He
You deserve
put
to lose it.
Pacquiao to win,
But
going the distance.
but look, you are a CEO with your HR director cheating at a Coldplay concert, bro, and you are out in the open. No, matter of fact, you're in the booth swaying, having a good old time while you and your wife and kids are at home. I don't know if this is the most embarrassing way to get caught cheating ever, and it be a forever meme that people have been making fun of for the past week. But the guy's worth $1 billion. Everybody say not anymore. He got 3 sons and a wife. Not anymore, going good friend. Shout out to the internet for putting this man on blast. How you feel about that? What do you think? Is that the most embarrassing way to get caught cheating?
Hell no. I
Hmm.
think they should have just went harder with it. Like when they was up there and that camera hit them, they should have kept embracing and swaying away and sang some more songs because Coldplay are some bammers for doing that shit anyway.
What?
Because right after this happened, they had, I think Morgan Wallen went viral because of his concert. He was like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna put y'all out there if you out here with your side chick tonight." So you got people out here paying money to see Coldplay, and he put them on blast. Now, these two people are highly ranked positions of two major companies, and they're both actually. I think she's married to a CEO.
Yeah.
Her LinkedIn says she specializes in gaining CEOs' trust.
She's boss.
The audacity, bro. I did some research because I knew we was gonna be talking about it. So
Yeah.
her LinkedIn or something where she's listed for professional bio was like, I gained the trust of major CEOs.
Mm.
And what happened is she lost it when she got caught up, canoodling at the Coldplay show with the CEO of the astronomers company because now they're both ousted. They lost their jobs because basically it's telling them that they can't be trusted.
Bro, you said canoodling. I'm not gonna let that slide. The
Mhm.
fact that a black man in 2025 said canoodling from the
Because that's what they're doing.
okay.
If
All
you look at what they were just doing, that embrace, that was a canoodle.
right. I'm gonna let that one ride. The canoodling, on this podcast is here and now, forever forbidden. Don't be using that word no more.
That's what they were
I don't know where
doing.
you're from. I don't know where you're from. You say that, but lo and behold, you you made it obvious when you tried to hide yourself, and it was too late, and which is why it caught on the way it did. Why it exactly caught on the way it did. So shout out to the cheating couple for going to a Coldplay concert, getting caught in
Hey man,
lives for the internet to see.
you
Now
think they gonna still talk to each other? You think they broke up?
I don't know. It don't even matter at this point. It don't even matter at this point. They can do whatever they want with their lives. I say they go to another Coldplay concert.
Wow, no bull.
That's what they got. That's what they got to go with as a memory from here on out. But let's get to the crux of this, okay? Because we were talking about this before we got on. We played some of the music before we got on. I've been listening to it consistently um, since it dropped, since I heard it drop. Okay, um, Pusha T and No Malice um, came out the box with an absolute banger and has been setting the airwaves on fire. Now, I can't say I want to say across every generation. I don't know. Most of them, yes, but let God sort them out. Let God sort them out. I know you just picked it up. You kind of just picked it up.
Yeah.
Because I've been listening to it forever, and I need to know if you're in the chat. Let me know if you say, "Give me your 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 10 out of 10." Because
See, what I'm thinking about it, like when I first heard that they had an album coming out, I figured they might have because they've been in the news a lot in hip hop lately with the whole, bullshit, beefs that they've been having back and forth.
mhm.
But when I look at the album and the track list, the major difference that I see between this and other hip hop that's out now, they got 4 minute tracks. You know what I'm saying? These aren't your TikTok 1 minute and 36-second tracks, 2 minute tracks. They got real songs again. It's produced by Pharrell. So the production's gonna be crazy.
Mhm.
And they got some real major features too. But 13 songs, 41 minutes long. I'm thinking, all right, this is gonna be probably pretty serious because it seems like they're gonna give you, a pretty good track list. And then I heard that song FICO and the beat and the flow and everything that went with it, man. I was like, it's crazy, man. But I like the clips ever since Lil Willing came out, to be
Mhm.
honest with you. Like I heard Grinding just like everybody else. I didn't hear about him before that. But when I listened to Lil Willing, I actually listened to that album to this day. Like I probably put that shit on and listen to Gangsta Lean or listen to the junk they had on there with Jada Kiss, I'm Not You. But what you think, man? Because I'm surprised that on social media it seemed like Gen Z really didn't know about clips. And they was kind of like giving clips their flowers now, like, oh, we didn't really know they was rapping like that. I said, shit.
Because they only knew one song, "Grinding," because it's such an iconic song that they still play that in the drums and everything is still played in schools. But yeah, I mean, the album is legendary off rip. I mean, people talking Grammy already. They talking about rap album of the year. I mean, it's there. It's
That's what rap needed.
every bit of it. And Malice is 52 years old, you know, laying belt to ass out here on every line. I think he killed it harder than Pusha T.
I agree with you.
You
I
know,
texted I texted a friend of mine that K Duz. It's funny you say that. I texted the group chat that I'm in. I was like, Malice probably had the better verse on FICO.
Malice probably had the better verse on most of those tracks. I'm not even gonna hold you. On
Damn.
most of them. On So Be It, he had the craziest track, which was their single. I think Pusha T had the best track on the opening one when they talk
Yeah.
about the passing of the parents. I mean, Inglorious Bastards. I mean, you can go on and on and on. It's just the album is crazy. For those who are hip hop enthusiasts that like real rap, yeah, the clips, yeah, they came out and they showed why lyricism was important. And there's a lot of entendres and all that stuff that's in it. How they rapped, when they, Inside Out was crazy when you really started breaking it down. But more importantly, it was more than just that feel good. It was that you felt like you lived with it. You were there with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you can instantly relate and you can enjoy every second of it.
But
And so
that's why I said, man, it's what rap needed, in my opinion. Like, I'm not gonna keep bashing today's rap, but it's just not the same. Like I was thinking the day before I put this on, I was like, when's the last time I look forward to hearing some new shit? Like I ain't checked for nothing new in a long time, Keto.
mhm.
But it's good to hear. Definitely refreshing, man. Some real rap, some bars and shit, good beats. But like.
When's the last time you put an album like heavily on repeat like this? Think
Yeah,
about
I can definitely
it.
see.
Heavily. You got to go back to early Jay-Z, early Biggie. You know what I'm saying? You got to go back to those days before you can think of um, a rap album that you played that much. You put on heavy on repeat. For me, at least. For me. I think about, I'm old as hell now. I'm thinking about Method Man to Cal stuff. Just, I mean, Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links, those type of albums where you just played it on absolute repeat. The Clips just put something out there like that. And I think it was more than anything for us, for the older group who grew up with hip hop and rap like that. Like you said there. Younger generations, they may not be too far into it. They'll listen to it, but they won't see the symbolism. I could be wrong, some will, some won't. But the 2 minute rap is here to stay. So look, I think one of the biggest things that's just been really relevant that we just passed was the ESPYS, right? And I made this little ticker up, okay, and it's kind of symbolized. The NBA is like the sports universe dark planet. It's the baby daddy that nobody likes. Um,
Who are you talking about right now?
I talk about the WNBA.
Oh
Maybe
boy.
I didn't, or it's the redheaded stepchild that gets no attention, and now they're trying to pull something into it because, well, let me not say that, right? Let me not say that just yet. Okay, I did bring up the WNBA, and I know you're gonna go in your rant because Shane Gillis got a lot of flack after the ESPYS backlash for his jokes on WNBA with Caitlin Clark and others. I don't know if you're familiar with that. But he made a joke, something like, once she retires, she can find a job doing what she loves at the Waffle House, fighting with black women, something crazy like that. Something crazy. To the effect. Comedy is comedy, funny is funny, whether you like it or not. It's all left to interpretation, right?
Yeah.
The WNBA has a problem, and I think they're trying way too hard to idolize Caitlin Clark with the WNBA and make her a symbol like they did with Jordan, like they did with LeBron, and everybody else, because the ESPYS gave her league first. She got snubbed for league MVP, right?
Yeah.
No, no, Asia Wilson got snubbed for MVP,
Okay.
and, and I think ESPYS gave her Player of the Year or some crap or something. When Asia Wilson has had the better season, top to bottom. So what I mean, look, I'm gonna let you lead on your rant because let me pull this up while you say it. Why do you say you hate the WNBA? Because that's
All
what you
right, this is why I'm saying I hate the WNBA now, because I've never hated the WNBA up until now. Like
said.
back in the day when they had players from Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, to just 5 years ago, the Diana Taurasi's, the Sue Birds, the Teresa Weatherspoons. Like I rock with the WNBA. I would, because I'm into basketball, I would watch the WNBA.
Turn your mic up because I think you yeah.
Because I was into basketball, thank you, bro. I would definitely watch the WNBA and I would follow, these players. And like now, looking back, I'm not saying it was a bad thing that they didn't be more active in the social topics and their pay and equal rights and things of that nature. They could have probably just been, pioneers, and it was early on. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, speaking of the players now, be talking about stuff that they're talking about, but it's just like it's taken away from the product on the floor, in my
Okay.
opinion. Because it's like you got the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, fake me out beef that they're
Right.
trying to create. That shit got stale. So
Mhm.
now you got this whole movement. Like they just had All Star Weekend, and I was on social media, and because I do look at WNBA topics, I had my whole algorithm was flooded with like these stud duds or stud buds. And I was like, I'm definitely not gonna hate on the stud buds for what they're doing. Shout out to them. Like it's cool that they're popular and they got a big following, and that's dope and that's great. But it was like it kind of took away from the All Star Weekend product. Like you would never see the NBA, even if they had Kevin Hart. Even though Kevin Hart would go up there and do jokes for 30 minutes, he's not going to take away from the product on the court.
Mhm.
And they kind of had a lot of, I think, off the court shit that was taken away from the All Star Weekend, to where you really didn't get a chance to get their talent displayed. Like that league's only going to grow based off the product on the floor.
Right.
Like, I don't know if they think that they're going to be able to hook these fans into spending money and building that league so they can make more revenue by, politicking on these topics. But I don't think that's going to be sustainable. Like, you might get viewership because you're putting social media posts up of you and your girl and y'all are promoting y'all's relationship. And that's a beautiful thing. But you're also putting up all the dancing on the sidelines and everything. That's a beautiful thing. But at that point, your league's turning into the banana softball baseball league. Like, how they got famous for dancing and shit while they playing baseball during the games. Like, it seems like they're trying to find a lot of gimmicks to create these movements for people to really support the WNBA. When you really look at it, though, basketball's number one, in my opinion, the more popular demographic is men. Like, if you would have put down statistics, no gender bias, there are probably more male fans of basketball than women. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So if you have more male basketball fans when you have a WNBA, you're probably still going to have more male fans, in my opinion, than women. So when you look at it, you don't want to alienate male fans and really bash us by making us feel like, we're not a part of the league. And then you got all this other BS that's going on outside the All Star Weekend, where you got them wearing shirts talking about they're not making enough money. Like, I feel you, get your money, go out there and protest, but like you got fans there. It's a fan weekend and they're coming out in shirts saying, pay us what you owe us.
Well,
It's just a bad look in my opinion for business. And I think that's where that league misses it from its history. They mess it up on the business aspect of it.
let me say this. I'm gonna have you look at your mic and make sure you turn your gate off because I
Oh,
think
my bad.
no, you good. Turn the gate off the mic. It's clipping you a little bit, and I get why they did that. I get why they wore the shirts because it's the biggest stage that they have. They're thinking that they have the most amount of eyes on them, and so they wanted to put their message out. What's hard is this: this is probably out of the NBA WNBA history, it's probably got more popular in these last 2 years than it ever has before, and it's trying to catch steam. And they're trying to cash in as soon as it's beginning to catch some some steam. It's making some headway, and I'm not mad at that either. But it's going to be it's still going to be kind of tough. You still got an uphill battle, with your new all stars that came in that's bringing more eyes to the court. They followed them from college more than anyone else, i.e., Caitlin and Angel Reese, and those others. It's just a tough conversation to have again because, like you said, a lot of them are men. There are some women, but they don't get enough marketing. Like you said, the marketing strategy is rough, but also you're marketing in a space where the NBA is doing a terrible job. So when the NBA is having a terrible time managing their players and managing, their fan base and managing um, people's interests, because again, like we're avid, basketball fans, but we don't really care to watch it until when the playoffs that come because everything else seems insignificant and there's nothing really to watch it from outside of just seeing the playoffs because the game itself, we don't see the players playing to their full potential, or we don't see them playing hard every night. They see it as, okay, we got 80 games, we just got to win enough to get there. Nobody is coming in there saying, I want to be uber dominant, I want to win 81 games or 82 games. I haven't seen the team yet come in as dominant and say, yeah, we're going to take over the league and we're going to go undefeated as long as we can. Now, I think who went on a long run? Oklahoma went on a long run last year, didn't they? Oklahoma and one more other team, Cleveland, went on a long run. And they started gaining some momentum and some advertisement, and people started saying, okay, let me see when they're going to lose or who they're going to lose to. But for the most part, other than Donovan Mitchell on Oklahoma, who were you picking out to be like the all team leader other than SJ when he got to the got to the playoffs? Who? Yeah, I can't see it. Hold on, you mute your mic all the way? Turn that blicky back on, player. So it's one of those things where you're trying to become more relevant. I still can't hear you. You're trying to become more relevant in a space where your main focus, the NBA, the main league, is having trouble being relevant in itself too. So look, WNBA has always had a marketing strategy. Maybe they're going to get better. We hope to see it in now and in the near future. Nothing yet. Now and in the near future. So it's just one of those things where, man, I get you, ladies. Fight for your money. Fight for everything that's coming that's due for you, but they got to be able to pay you. They got to be able to pull the revenue in to really, really pay you what you're worth. And it's hard when you don't have a great marketing team behind it. And a lot of companies fail because their marketing is horrible. Even though their product could be great, marketing behind it could be absolute trash when it comes down to it. So look, um, I don't hate the NBA. I just think again, that not the NBA, the WNBA. I just think they have a marketing issue and they'll figure it out. Still nothing yet. Still nothing yet. But look, you said too much focus in the stud does and not product on the court. You clicked it on. Let me see.
Testing.
There you go. You
All right,
clicked it on.
so
So I just don't. I don't know, man. I don't know. What were you gonna say before you were muted?
man, we live, man. But I was muted, man. But you was talking your shit, K Dizzle. But like I said, like when I say what I say, it's not in hatred. Like I want the WNBA to do well. Why would I hate on that league? And it was like I watched the games, but I think they were taking their focus into the wrong areas, and they just got to tighten up. They got some talent. They do have some good talent right now, but again, the games aren't good. They have a lot of social media channels out there just spoofing WNBA content of being like reels of like Shaq and the Fool and shit, like like players like missing layups and all that. But I wish them the best, man. Hopefully the WNBA can get it together and find the right marketing strategy.
They'll get it together. They'll definitely get it together. I know they were having a debate on who the GOAT for the WNBA was.
Who was it?
Cheryl Swoops.
Okay.
Cheryl Swoops. Without a doubt. I don't think there's anybody else close. Unless Don Staley was tough. Lisa Leslie was tough. But Cheryl Swoops is the one.
Yeah.
OG
Yeah, she had a good run too.
I'm sorry, not Cheryl Swoops. Cheryl
Cheryl
Miller.
Miller.
Cheryl Miller, yeah.
Yeah, Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller had a big college run and early WNBA run, but altogether, she was probably one of the most dominant players in her sport.
Yes, Cheryl was
We
better
we
than Reggie.
always talked about that. You said that a few times,
Cheryl was better than Reggie, and Reggie will attest to that. And Reggie was
man.
a dog. So shout out to Cheryl Miller, GOAT of the WNBA. But
All
look,
right, man. So where you want to go, man? We spent a lot of time on the WNBA.
hella time on the WNBA. Let's start
Probably
talking
more
about
time than their fans do.
let's start talking about this deep dive, bro, because that's got me perplexed here a little bit. I'm trying to read it and I'm trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, I was typing away. So I got the showrunner today, right? For
Uh-huh.
those listening on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else we are, from around the world. And again, Kate, it was just because people might have just got in. Put the number up again, please, in case if somebody wants to text. I don't mean to make you work, but I was putting all these topics together, and we've been talking about Diddy and Epstein, and you know the the government just blocked the Epstein files, the quote unquote Epstein files, from being released to the public. And the overall consensus is, the public was lied to, because the public was told that the Epstein files would have been released. But, it might benefit some of the powers that be, if you get what I'm talking about, for that to not be released. So again, I'm thinking about that, Diddy, the WNBA, and all their, fanfare that they had over the weekend with the studs and the duds. And I was like, oh, is all this that's being pushed on social media all day, every day, are these playing into a narrative that's making the traditional man's man an afterthought?
And that's what I got from that's what so and
And I
that's what
wanted to ask you that, man.
is the traditional man no longer attractive to today's modern woman?
That's a really good one. See, that's why you're K Dizzle. That's a great question to follow up with that.
Is the traditional man no longer attractive to today's modern woman? That is the question of the night.
Great
301
question.
1757 to join the conversation. I want to hear your thoughts and ideas on this, because this is a very intriguing question. First and foremost, we got to set up the basis of our conversation, right?
Right.
What do you consider to be the traditional man, first and foremost?
So again, we're talking about the traditional alpha male provider and protector of his woman. The man who grew up from that, complete household with the mother and father, who got those values, that believe that he's gonna, go out, make the income, not really do 50-50, take care of his family, and expect in return him to have a supporter, a nurturer, and a woman there for him to pour into his cup, and in return he builds and provides and protects for her. So that's, in my opinion, the traditional male. And they kind of coincide with the alpha male, because most of those men do tend to try to be dominant, and a lot of those men kind of have been paralleled to like some of these people that we watch in today's society, and in today's public media. K Dizzle, like when you look at Trump, he comes off as the old fashioned traditional man.
Mhm.
Love him or like him or hate him, a guy who's independently wealthy. Obviously, he got it from his family, but he's got the money, dominant, takes care of his household, probably expects his wife to do whatever he asks her to do when he wants her to do it. And he comes off as a person that's not really favorable by most people. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at the
He's not
people
a
who,
traditional man. He's a
well, you know what I'm trying to say though.
he's
So
very
you got him, then you got like Epstein, you got Diddy, all these guys who're supposed to be alpha men, you would think in their environments, right? Who've had these runs for such a long time. What I'm asking, I don't know if it's not making sense, is this affecting the image of the traditional man? Does that make sense?
yes and no. So
Okay.
so what you're describing is the alpha male who is the highly successful, what you would
Right.
what
Right.
they would consider, i.e. Kevin Samuels, coining the phrase high value men, right? High value men who have acquired wealth, that only look for a woman to serve particular needs, right? Those are the type. What we're talking about is a traditional man, whether it can be, you know, mother and father household, it can be single parent household. We're talking about a traditional man who has, morals, ethics, values, not in the streets. He's working, he
Of course.
believes in treating a woman fair, giving her, equitable share, listening, being attentive, opening doors, um, and just overall okay with the 50-50. Will also do 100%, but playing the standard role of just being a positive male role model or figure within a relationship, right? Not a guy that's super flashy, not a guy that is, got hella game, but he's just out here working, paying bills, doing all the right things, on the right track. Is that guy no longer attractive to today's modern woman who is, if they are listening to everything on the internet, is looking for the man to pay all the bills, listing out what they want, has to have a certain ride, or has to have a certain house, or has to have a certain car, or has to have a certain amount of money in order for them to be desirable, or for even to have them look in their way.
But that's why I'm asking you, is that same man getting a bad rap unbeknownst to him due to the increased exposure of all that activity that is online? Is it providing almost like a different representation of men at this point? Because it's like, are women expecting a lot of successful men to think and act like these other men? It's kind of what I'm asking.
I
Like,
think
are they thinking in the back of their mind, like, are a lot of men like this? When they get in these positions of power and they get in these positions of success, will that traditional man use that leverage? You know what I'm saying? I wonder if it's like starting to become a perception in certain women. Like, it was a good question that I thought
Mhm.
at the time when I wrote it. But it's layers to it, and I think what you said was a good point. And the way you phrased the question, is he no longer attracted to today's modern woman? What would you say today's modern woman is looking for?
what we need, truthfully, is a woman's perspective. Shout out to the
Right.
people in the chat. But if you dive deep into what social media tries to program you with, you know, a man will automatically think when he finds a woman, he sees a woman out in the wild, so at a club, at a bar, whatever that they be, they're looking for those things. They're looking for money, they're looking for status, and they're looking for what they can be provided with. And so, if those are the three things that the man is to believe what the woman is looking for, then he goes out of his way to extraneously show that he's got a good car, he's got a lot of money, he can provide a woman with a lifestyle that he may
So
not even
you
have right now.
so you think the average man, I mean the average woman, is still looking for a man with money?
The average, I can't even speak on it, bro. I think a lot of women I can't. I
I mean,
can't.
I understand that, but
I will say this. I will say that there's too much brainwashing in the belief that that's what it should be, or that's what you should expect
mm,
moving forward. I think that there's too much emphasis. You know, they look at potential as a bad thing, and they look at and the expectations now. I think because of our attention span as the younger generation grows up is shorter, they have less of an ability to look at the possibility potential, or saying that, well, if you are of this age, you should have this by now, or you should be doing this by now, or you should be in this position, or you should have acquired all these things. And life just be life, and people go
right.
through things. And I think the man that may have had a bunch of setbacks, a bunch of issues, was always going to get the bad rap, because of he may not be where somebody else's perception of him should be, or that woman's perception of him should be at that time and place in his life. So I think grace is missing when we talk about looking for relationships or looking into other people for the possibility of relationship. Uh, that doesn't mean you settle. But that just means that you give people grace, understanding that life is tough out here, and not everybody has the same path towards success. That's what I'm really saying. I think I think a lot of traditional men, like if I was out here, um, I would probably be terrible. I would probably be absolutely terrible. On the other side, meaning I don't even know if I would get looks just because I'm not that guy anymore, and I'm not going out there, and I'm not chasing. I think a lot of women want men to chase them, and if they don't have what they want, they're not even going to allow them to chase them. Does that make sense?
Do fellas got to move different now? Is my question because I'm in a committed relationship too. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder if like if we got to move different now because of the repercussions of the last I think major societal events that have occurred when it came to dominant men and like I said in those places of success. Like do you move different now? Can a man still move as a real alpha that really doesn't care like that CEO right now? I don't think they would have probably played that video like the way they're playing it now 10, 15 years ago.
Hell no.
Right?
Hell no. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, YouTube was just starting to catch on. So I mean, it's just one of those things where, we are in a very hypersensitive society where if we see something, and we think it could be viral, everybody's going to latch on to it to get their 5 minutes of fame or to garner generate some type of income from the content creation itself. Like we talked about before with the CEO, had they not been so obvious in their disdain for being on the jumbotron, it would have never been a thing. Had they
Right.
just went about their business and swayed back and forth, you know what I'm saying? And never, move from each other. The only people that would have known were if there were people at the Coldplay concert that knew them and that worked with them or for them or had dealings with them.
Mm.
So, the alpha male, that is a perfect example of a man not understanding the value of what he has, right?
Clearly, right?
The value of what he has, but more importantly, just being brazen, absolutely brazen with it. I'm pretty sure he was on an out of town
Man,
conference.
yeah, man. He heard that Coldplay. When that Coldplay hit, he was vulnerable, man.
Oh God,
He was just holding, swaying away.
it's just one of those things where you say, man, yeah, if you're dealing with that is the contextual alpha male that women see as today, right? And
Right.
unfortunately, even though he's already spoken for, that's the ideals that sometimes that women think that alpha men are going to do. They're going to do their dirt. You just got to be happy with what you're getting in return, which is the lifestyle A, B, and C. And that should never be something that you settle for. But fortunately, women do.
Yeah, that's a tough trade-off. That's a tough trade-off, man.
That's the trade-off in itself.
Because I don't think I can let my girl just run the streets and whoop my ass just because she paying my bills. No.
That's the funny thing, right? That's the funny thing. We look at it, the shoe is on the other foot, you know, the man would be, I would say, even more devastated to his psyche in itself because the first thing a man hates to think about or even consider is, which is going to be crazy for me to say, is was I not enough and where was I not enough, right? Which is what men do to women at all times.
I wonder what a woman would. What would women say? Like, do y'all like? Let me pick my energy up a little bit before we get up out of here. Do y'all want a man that's overconfident or a little bit subtle and maybe not exude the confidence when he walks in the room? Like, if you had to choose, if there's somebody in the chat or even mama Hef, what would you rather have? Somebody that's confident, dominant, really looking to take over wherever he steps into the room, or do you want that subtle laid back gentleman in today's world now? Because I'm not really sure what y'all are looking for, and I'm curious because like I said, we're both in a committed relationship, so I don't have to really worry about it. But
That's well, the question you're asking is going to be based on the individual, what they like and what they want, what they consider to be okay with because let me share mine. So me and my wife are the complete opposites,
Okay.
right? She's very laid back. She's not shy, but she will talk and she's outgoing once you engage, but she's not going to initially engage. Me, I'm talking to everybody. I'm making jokes. I'm cracking. I'm doing all types of stuff. I'm making sure that my presence is felt in the room. That's just who I am. And so, um, did she necessarily want somebody like me? Absolutely not. She could tell you that. And if she could tell you that in a heartbeat, what type of guy she probably likes, she probably like a she probably like a white boy in some cowboy boots. I am far from it.
That's funny.
Way far from it. But the opposites part of us do attract, and a lot of things that we do together, they just work. And not only that, I am a hell of a good salesman. I sold myself, sold myself on her and never left the building. So it really becomes a context on what the woman feels fits for her. Like, like Nene, you and Nene, it just fits. It just fits. And there's some places that she's awful in that you're good in, some places that you're awful in that she's great in. And if it fits, it works. And that's what people got to find. And I think we get caught up. I think sometimes people get caught up in worrying about how much things don't fit, right? How much things, they don't like, how much things they don't see, that they don't feel comfortable with. Because sometimes that discomfort in certain areas that people bring out of you could be helping you grow. So there's a lot of different aspects to when you're talking about relationships, you're talking about meeting people, you talk about building one that again we just have to give grace to. I'm not saying compromise your values, but I'm also saying compromise in places where you need to grow. Compromise in places where you have never shined that light in. Where you got some darkness in you that you need to come up out you because maybe that traditional man is the right lean in that you need because you've been dating all these thugs, you've been dating all these dudes who all they do is wear, um, white shorts and polos. You gotta figure out um, really more than anything more about yourself before you start talking to somebody else. About yourself and what's important, what you really need, what you really want, but more importantly, what you really need. So traditional males, I think, have been falling by the wayside as far as getting a good light shined on them and getting some attention because of what is marketed and with today's modern woman and also today's modern man. So we just push each other in a lot of different ways to the point where it just goes to the extreme. And now, if you don't have A, B, and C or X, Y, and Z, or show me any modicum of it, you're not even in the running. So now
Right.
I've completely shot you down. I've completely not even considered you as a candidate, now or in the near future. So it's tough. It's really, really tough to be in the dating pool. That's what everybody says. That's what you hear. And I think a lot of it is driven by social media influence, what we think we want, or what we think we should want. So y'all be careful out there.
And that's the thing, man. You hit on a lot of great points tonight, K Dizzle, man. You was doing your thing, man. Appreciate
No, no,
you.
no problemo. No
But I talked about it. If you guys been watching this, man, I watch a lot of that pop the balloon shit. I'm telling you, man. And it's like it epitomizes the dating scene, in my opinion, from what I see online. Because you got everybody in a row, somebody walks out, and as soon as they say one thing, if it's the over or under, if it doesn't work for that person, they're out. And it's so quick and it's so like it gets to the point to where it's like, damn, if I did wear the shirt that you like, would you to give me a chance? You know what I'm saying? It's like so finicky now.
yeah.
And that's why I asked the question, like, is social media an influence to make the traditional man no longer attracted, like you said, by today's modern woman, which is
Mhm.
a great question.
Pop the Balloon was
Because
was a great show, and still is a great show, except for the one on Netflix. Uh,
trash.
that shows um, how shallow people can be. How shallow people can be, and also as well, first impressions are everything to some people, right? To some people, and how you can easily be dissuaded. by the smallest thing. And sometimes people need to get out of their own way to find really love, true love and happiness. Because that might not have been the right pants for you, boo. I'm sorry. Maybe it was a bad choice. Maybe it was a bad choice in wardrobe. But getting back and snapping at each other never gets us anywhere. But again, Pop the Balloon was a great example. It shows you just how quick people can make a decision on you before you even open your mouth, and miss out on something that could be great for them. Not only an experience, but also a blessing. And even if it comes out to becoming a bad relationship, you're learning something more about yourself, or what you're willing to deal with and what you're willing not to deal with when it comes to dating and who you see. And also help you make better decisions. So look, you know where to find us. Facebook and YouTube, ADU Podcast. Lock it in. If you are not subbed, you have that like button. You should have been had it by now. We forgive you. Just fix your wrongs. Okay. If you got any questions, submit all your info to alldresseduppodcast@gmail.com. What I need you to do more than anything, I need you to make sure you go see us on Spotify, iTunes Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, anywhere that they're streaming podcasts, Audible.
Shout out to Norway, man. We got listeners in Norway.
We got listeners. Let me tell you, in Bangladesh. I didn't even know Bangladesh had radios out there.
Shout out to Bangladesh.
And they listen to the All Dressed Up podcast. What you need to do is lock in and go to have streams on YouTube. Make sure you watch every single episode of the Climbback series twice. Okay. And then you share each link on all of your social media channels, because it's hella dope. It's awesome stories and good people on there. K Dizzle DC, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. Content is flowing up like crazy. And look, we love doing this, but more importantly, we love doing this with you, because we love talking our talk, shooting the shit, but also learning something every time we pick this up. We didn't talk about that OnlyFans model retired after she got that money from Shay Shay, Uncle Shay Shay.
Shorty said she retired
off the rip.
OnlyFans.
As soon as he said
she retired, and China pulled out of OnlyFans and said they don't want it ever pulled up in their country again.
She said, I got the money that I needed. I'm good. Godspeed. And that's
Shay Shay out here retiring OnlyFans money.
Hey, he paid to retire.
Generations.
He paid
generations.
Got to do better, bro. Do better. What are the parting words you got for us before we roll out of here, man?
Man, I tell you, man, OnlyFans, no more. No more OnlyFans. Shout out to her, man. That's a come up. And that's what it's all about, man. Come up, climb back, take care of your family. I want to thank everybody that came out, that was in the chat tonight. Mama Hef, Arizona, Big P, Darian Watson, Ralph, Big Dog, Shanae. Shout out my man Savage, man, because we do it for y'all, honestly, man. Like, we appreciate you. This is 123 episodes in, man. Shout out to my guy K Dizzle DC. I ain't trying to say too many shout outs, but man, we really do it for the people. We're gonna keep it going, man. So we'll see you.
1,000 more to go, baby. We love y'all. We'll see y'all.
You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all